This is going to be an extremely busy month. I have to watch 104 soccer games, follow the pregame, the postgame, yell useless opinions at the TV. It's a lot. So I knew that when it comes to screening for colon cancer, the choice was clear. The Cologuard Plus test. It can be used at home and can only take 15 minutes, so I can do it during halftime and not miss any action. If you are 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about screening for colon cancer with the Cologuard test. You can also request a prescription at Cologuard.com.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at Accenture.com/Spotify.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Dominic Carter here with you on this Sunday night. The number to reach me right now, let's go ahead and open up the phone lines, 800-848-9222. So let's start with the New York City Pride Parade. Senator Charles Schumer booed, but he tried to put the best face on it.
The first thing Hi, everybody. So I was the first senator to ever march in this parade, 1999, and I haven't missed one yet. And folks, I was also the first Senate leader.
Senator Schumer at the New York City Pride Parade among the politicians that were there. Mom Donnie as well. We're going to get to Iran in just 1 second. But folks, be careful this week. New York City facing extreme 100-degree temperatures this week, just in time for the World Cup, July 4th, and apparently Taylor Swift's wedding. This from Channel 4.
Do not treat this like a typical New York City heat wave. We're talking about a 4 to 5 day stretch of dangerous heat with 2 days that could reach 100 degrees at Central Park. It hasn't hit 100 degrees there in 14 years, by the way. And when you factor in the humidity, it could feel as hot as 110 degrees. That kind of heat is not to be played with. Did you know extreme heat is the #1 weather-related killer in the United States? Not hurricanes, not tornadoes, not floods. Heat claims more lives than all of them. So this isn't the week to plan long outdoor activities. If you don't have to be outside during the hottest part of the day, don't. This is that go to work and go home weather. This is that stay in the air conditioning or the pool weather. And most importantly, this is that check on your elderly neighbors, friends, and neighbors weather, or anyone without air conditioning. Stay safe this week and make sure you're being a good neighbor, because that's what New York is all about.
So folks, be careful this week. All right, Iran. Anyone can complain, right? We see that every day. But what do you do with a country where its leadership is reckless, dangerous, and seems to not care what happens to them? When you're in the position of stopping them from having a nuclear weapon on the world stage, what do you do with a country like that that's reckless, dangerous, and seems that doesn't care what happens to them? In its statement, we know the bombing taking place back and forth, the United States and Iran. In its statement, Iran talking tough on social media, stating, and I'm quoting here, any enemy aggression, whatever the pretext, even against insignificant targets, will have a crushing response. Now, that response is delusional based on how much the U.S. has bombed Iran already, but that's what they're saying to this recent wave of attacks, right? So Iran says it launched, in case you didn't hear this weekend, a series of retaliatory strikes on U.S. military assets in Kuwait and Bahrain, two countries I've been to, by the way. And they say that this happened Saturday night, Sunday morning, after the U.S. hit them earlier in the day as part of a rising series of strikes and counterstrikes between the two nations. So Iran's, and you have to take this with a grain of salt. Their Revolutionary Guard Corps, whatever you want to call them, folks, claim that they, quote, destroyed 8 important U.S. military facilities at the base in Kuwait and at the 5th Fleet Naval Base in Bahrain. An official says there were no U.S. casualties or major impacts or damage to U.S. bases after the barrage of missiles and drones. So again, what do you do with a country that's reckless, dangerous, and doesn't seem to care what happens to them? President Trump reacting in part a short time ago.
Their Navy, we knocked out everything. It's amazing. We have the greatest military. We make the greatest military equipment. And now, if you notice, I said you got to make it faster. Got to make more of it because we need it. All made in America, but we make the greatest. You know, we had an attack. 100 missiles were shot by Iran at a very important thing that we had. I won't tell you what it was for certain reasons. 100 missiles going 2,000 miles an hour were coming at this element of importance, tremendous power and importance. And of the 100 missiles coming at us, 100 missiles were immediately shot down, shot out of the air, fall into the sea. Think of that. Not one missile got through. That was the Patriot system.
And so U.S. Ambassador Mike Waltz revealing that Iran is playing with fire, right? And you would think so, especially if they think they can get away with keep violating this ceasefire. And so this is why I said, and I think many of you said the same thing, that this thing was not worth the paper it was printed on to begin with. 800-848-9222, Ambassador Mike Waltz.
If the Iranian regime thinks for a second that President Trump is going to stand by, while Iran continues to attack international shipping without a response, or our bases without a response, they're sadly mistaken. And they saw that loud and clear over the last few nights, where we'll continue to militarily, if needed, take down their infrastructure that they're trying to use to illegally control an international waterway. And Shannon, just one more point on that. That's not just the United States. That's the entire international community. A UN record, 143 nations have agreed with us that this is in violation of international law. Even the Chinese government has said you cannot be taking tolls or fees. Iran was apparently relying on Oman across the waterway to help it set up this new infrastructure. And now Oman, just yesterday, has rejected the idea of tolls or fees. So they're completely isolated here. President Trump's not going to stand for it. And meanwhile, we continue to move ships out by the dozens every day. And world oil prices are not just stable, they're dropping. So Iran's attempt to hold the world hostage and their economies hostage are completely failing.
And so I repeat, what do you do with a reckless country like Iran, where they're determined to get a nuclear weapon, and it's in no one's best interest for that to happen? They're reckless. What do you do with a country like that? 800-848-9222. What do you do about the socialism that is sweeping the country now? A big race coming up in Colorado. You've had the mayor's race in D.C. and, of course, the congressional races that occurred last week here in New York City, in which all of Mamdani's people that he backed beat traditional Democrats that were already in office. And the Republican candidate for New York Governor, Bruce Blakeman, again, making a interesting argument that if you want to stop this dangerous march that is of socialism in New York, one way to do it is to elect him. And he may have a point there. Blakeman, appearing on the radio show of station owner John Katsimatidis.
We need common sense to prevail, Bruce Blakeman. And it seems like bad decisions are made by the state legislature and the state senate and the state assembly, and we're worried. We're worried about keeping our headquarters in New York.
Absolutely, John. Listen, the only way to save this state is to support my campaign this year. Because the left-wing lunatics, I'm not talking about liberals. Liberals love America. They just have a different philosophy than you and I do. But they're not bad people. I'm talking about the Zohran Mamdani wing of the Democratic Party. These people hate America. They're a danger to our state. They're a danger to our country, and they got to be stopped.
Understood. Now, the last week, three Democratic socialists beat out three Democratic moderates. So you might have three more Congress people with socialist philosophies in Congress. That's not going to help New York.
No, it's not going to help New York because, as Winston Churchill said, communism, socialism, it's nothing more than shared misery. And that's what we have now under Kathy Hochul and Zohran Mamdani. They want to make everybody miserable so they don't know the difference between being happy and being miserable. I want to make people happy again, cut their taxes, cut their utility rates, make safer communities. Isn't that what a government official is supposed to do? And these socialists, they hate America. Everything they say is anti-American. Well, you know what? If you don't like America, get out. Go live someplace else. You're not improving people's lives here in America. You're trying to destroy them with a system of economic and governmental structure that has been a failure every place it's ever been tried.
Couldn't have been said better than what was articulated just now by the Republican nominee for governor of New York State, Bruce Blakeman. If you don't like it here and if things are so bad, get out, you phonies. You want it both ways. You hate America, but you want to live the good life in America. Go somewhere else. So their king, if you will, Mamdani, appears on this week, national TV. We'll get to that in just a second. But I've got to stop for a second, just for a second, to talk about the WNBA. I have to stop for a moment. Caitlin Clark, I have to stop. So I think we're all waiting to see Caitlin Clark step up and defend herself, right? And she can't because of racial politics. But you know what I note with great interest? So she's still out injured from how she was attacked by that player. And what was Caitlin Clark doing? Caitlin Clark just built an outdoor basketball court. And she was out there shooting hoops with young African-American children. So while you're attacking her as the star marquee generational player in the league who happens to be white, while you're attacking her, she was out shooting hoops with kids of color. But, you got to see it. You got to see it. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. I think her name is Sophie Cunningham, her teammate, or Sophia Cunningham, her teammate. And she also happens to be white. And she's not taking it anymore from these bullies. So there was an incident the other night, right? And a player that used to play for Indiana, this tall young lady who happens to be of color. So they get into it. It started with them attacking Caitlin Clark again. And Sophia looked at them like, what? And Sophia has been physically dishing it out. If you want to come at Caitlin Clark, we're coming at you. Every team has to have an enforcer. Michael Jordan, they had players. Their sole role on the team was if you come after Jordan, that bulldog is coming after you. So Sophie Cunningham, and again, Sophie happens to be white, and her and this player, they get into it. And Sophie, the girl, according to Sophie, the girl says to Sophie, "Don't point your finger at me." And I mean, there are T-shirts already made up about this. Sophie doesn't say a word. She just points directly at the player and doesn't back up. And the girl starts flipping out. And you see Sophia getting around other players to say, "I'm not backing down from you." And she just keeps pointing at her. And the longer she points at the other player is going batty. I mean, absolutely batty. And I say, good for you. Give as much as Caitlin Clark is getting. And this was the play-by-play of that situation.
And Bonner and Clark continue. And players and officials now getting involved.
Oh, my.
And they're still going. Now it's Cunningham and Bonner. And keep in mind, Cunningham and Bonner have history as teammates. It is easy to say there is no love lost between DeWanna Bonner and the Indiana Fever fans.
So all of this controversy, it's good for the game. But when you're letting your star player come under attack, you've got to be a dumb you-know-what to permit that to happen. All right, we see your telephone calls. 800-848-9222. Mom Donnie appearing on This Week, ABC. He thinks he's so slick. He thinks he's so smart. And so the woman that beat traditional Democrat, Adriano Espaillat, and that was the biggest shock of the night, she has been calling for abolishing all prisons. All prisons, right? And Mamdani was asked about that by Jonathan Karl.
Now, there's been a lot of attention. One of the candidates you supported who won, who knocked off an incumbent Democrat, is Darlisa Villa-Chevalier. She said some very controversial things, including calling for the abolition of prisons, couldn't say whether or not somebody who had committed murder should be in prison, called for open borders against all deportations, including those of violent criminals. Are those positions that the Democratic Party could win on nationally?
I think what the Democratic Party can win on nationally is a focus on working people. And I think that what I saw from Daria Lisa when I would walk the streets of her district was a focus on what she describes as a politics of life. She would talk about how we have to invest in babies, not bombs. She's now going to represent what is one of the poorest districts in the United States of America. And what people in that district are exhausted by is a politics that has justified the spending of tens of billions of dollars in killing civilians overseas while working people are struggling just to do the basics. But
Right. Sounds wonderful, Mom Donnie. It just sounds wonderful, right? So and I'm being sarcastic, the conversation with Jonathan Karl and Mom Donnie on This Week continued.
But how does abolishing prisons or having open borders fit into that? I mean, do you see how those are ideas that a lot of your Democrats that are warning about what happened here say are toxic. Most of America won't go along with it. Are bad ideas. They're dangerous ideas.
I think what the focus of her race was, what the focus of her candidacy was about the struggle that working people are facing. And I think that we can have disagreements on policy positions. What we have to agree on is what are we fighting for and who are we fighting for. She showed that in her race, and I think that many people will come to appreciate that in her leadership to come.
So we can disagree on something as basic as whether or not there should be prisons? That's not your position.
There are prisons,
yes.
And what we're also showing in this city is that safety is not something that's up for debate.
Wow. So there you have it, your mayor, 800-848-9222. This guy is dangerous. So right after he won, what was one of the first things he did? One of his first endorsements. And then we're going to start with your telephone calls. He endorsed a woman. So he's not just successful right now with his endorsements as it relates to Washington. He's successful at the State House as well. His first endorsement was a young lady by the name of Aber Kawaz, And she, who blames 9/11 on America, you're about to hear it, she has been elected to the State House in Albany.
And so, and finding that, the system of capitalism and racism and white supremacy, etc., have all, and Islamophobia have all been used, to colonize lands, right, to take resources from other people. And so this is a long trajectory. And we're just seeing the manifestations of that continuation, right, with 9/11. And so a lot of times when people are asking us to respond about, attack, right, if you look back, historically, right, a lot of us come from lands that were colonized, lands where wars are being waged, right, and a lot of times because of U.S. policy or the policies in Europe. And so I find that we can connect over that, but then also that the idea that we have to apologize for a terror attack that a couple of people did, and then there is no apologies or reparations for genocides and for slavery, etc., is something that I kind of find reprehensible.
Welcome to the new way of politics, Mom Donnie style. 800-848-9222. Line 2, Sergio, New Jersey. Good evening, Sergio. What's on your
Dominic, how are you? Love the show, Dominic. Second-time caller. Hey, man, where are we getting these people from? Where do we get Carpet Guy from? Where do we get Carpet Boy from? And all these people that are clinging on to his generosity policies, to just give everything away, take from the man that works and give it to the people that don't. It's disgusting. It's appalling. It's embarrassing. I don't live in New York. I'm in Jersey. I got my own problems over here with Mikey Sherrill, the helicopter pilot. She's about doing the same thing, It's appalling over here as well.
But she's not as bad as Mom Donnie. She's not as bad as Mom Donnie.
She's not as bad. No. She's not nowhere near as bad as him. Not yet. But she
That's
did
a good
allocate
point.
$20 million. She did allocate $20 million for illegals so that they can have representation for lawyers and all that stuff to stay, to fight their cases or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I just wanted to touch with the WNBA. I'm glad that's fresh on my head too. I don't think that with Caitlin Clark, I think that if she was going to fight back and defend herself, she would have done it a long time ago. I don't think she's got that dog in her, honestly. Number one,
she couldn't, Sergio, because she would have been called a racist. If they would have said she hates black people, she couldn't defend herself.
Yeah, you know what? But she's the one that saved the WNBA. You're talking about a league that didn't make any money for 25 years.
Absolutely, they're still not making money. They're still not making money.
No, not at all. And they're expanding. They got 2 more teams or 3 more teams somewhere. They were getting jet flights, private jets now to games outside of their home states. All because of Caitlin Clark. All because of her. She's the face of the league, and there's a lot of hatred and animosity and jealousy because she's white, she's straight, she's pretty, whatever. That's the case, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with you 1,000%. Thank you for the call, Sergio. What I don't understand, so this is the WNBA, the women. Why do they have to look like thugs? Not all, but I'd say at least half. Why do they have to look like thugs on the corner, like they're about to rob you? Why is that? I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's go to Will, line 3, Farmingdale. Will, good evening. What's on your mind?
Dominic, I have to say that these white leftist communists, these democratic socialists, are out there selling out our country to maintain their white privilege. It's just a progression of the Joe Bidens and the Beto O'Rourke's and these neutered white apologists that go out there and sell out our country and pander to a group of people for votes and import certain demographics and sell us out to maintain their white privilege. And the irony of them talking about white privilege and then pointing to people like me, Irishmen who came to this country, half of them as indentured servants, couldn't get jobs, beaten on throughout our history, and then all of a sudden found out we were white just in time for it not to be cool anymore, right? Just in time for it not to have any privilege, right? And then they blame us for their privilege. Meanwhile, they use it to hold on to their white privilege. Beto O'Rourke's family owned slaves. He's talking about reparations.
I didn't know that.
When this
I didn't know that.
As a matter of fact, did you know there's only one president out of all the surviving presidents that are alive today, there's only one of them whose family did not own slaves. Did you know that? And guess who it would be? Before you say Barack Obama, it wasn't him, actually. It was Donald Trump. So the irony of these white people selling out the rest of us hard-working, regular, no-money-having regular white people to maintain their white privilege and then expect us to apologize for their white privilege is the game that's going on here. Okay? And it's a game that's supposed to pit me against you. And it's a game that's supposed to pit people of color against white people because that wedge creates votes. What's going on with Carmelo Anthony right now? Look at what's happening right now. And when you say before, Caitlin couldn't say that because she'd be called racist. I think it's about time that white people need to realize, and Dominic, there's no slant, I understand you're not a white guy, but I think it's time for white people to realize that the fear of being called racist over everything is exactly what's deteriorating the fabric of this nation. Because what is now racist is no longer my race is better than yours or your race is inferior to mine. It is just inherently being white. And if that's your definition of racism at this point, I am diametrically opposed to your entire worldview. So I don't care what you think of me. Thank you, Dominic.
Well, you may find it surprising, but I agree with everything you just said. Thank you for the call. Dominic Carter here with you, folks. It is now time for a break. We have a lot to get to, and of course, I'm here with you until 1 a.m. 800-848-9222.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Need a laptop that's built to perform and designed to last all day? Select Windows 11 PCs starting at $499.99 are now at Best Buy. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
Want to elevate your travel experience? Here's how. With a Delta SkyMiles Reserve American Express card, you can relax before your flight in the Delta Sky Club with up to 15 visits per medallion year. And now through July 15th, 2026, you can earn up to 125,000 bonus miles, so you're closer to your next adventure. The Delta SkyMiles Reserve card. Check out the new design at www.delta.com/Spotify. Minimum spending requirements and terms apply.
The World Cup is back and Football Weekly is going daily. From the goals and the glory to the politics and the problems, join me, Max Rushton, and our expert panel every day of the tournament. World Cup Daily, listen on Spotify now and watch the full episodes on YouTube.
I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Cocktails up here feel just right. Is Cambria amazing? All right. Bring a date, your teen, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com. See you on the roof.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Mom Donnie delivers on the rent freeze. He delivers on the rent freeze. He came through. He came through. Be careful what you wish for. So no rent increase percentage-wise on 1-year leases or 2-year leases. I'm telling you, folks, one of the worst things that could ever happen to New York. And you know who can explain this better than I can? President Trump.
But what the mayor doesn't say is that these buildings will soon turn into ghettos and slums and that everybody will continue leaving New York. And as this spreads throughout the country, very much like an uncontrollable form of cancer, the country itself will be taken down. It will be third world, strictly third world.
And there's no doubt about it. Repairs won't be made. You're going to look at buildings that are just going to stay the way they are, and you're not going to be happy with it. But boy, did Mom Donnie deliver. Where is she? Where is she? Per New York One, the garbage can lady.
And in other sports news, remember that woman who went viral for dumping the trash out of a Knicks-themed garbage bin and taking it? Well, no need to nick a bin. That is how the sanitation department is framing a special litter basket giveaway. The department is giving away 5 of their official Knicks-themed blue and orange litter baskets They are the same ones used during the parade. That is when this woman went viral for, again, dumping that trash out and taking it. The sanitation department says she has since returned the trash can, but she apparently did get fired from her job at J.P. Morgan. The bins weigh about 30 pounds. You can enter the lottery to win one of them on the sanitation department's website. Winners will be selected at random.
So, again, it's going to be very hot the next couple of days. I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex. The lovely Liz Rosenblatt says, hey, Dominic, at Dominic TV, if you want to cool off on Thursday, come down to Florida. I'll take you to my favorite beach. All right, Matt Blaze. So have you ever been to a beach in Florida?
Absolutely. Of course.
Really?
Yeah, many times.
But
many
sun,
times.
man, I'm not really a beach guy because all of that sun.
You got to watch the sunburn, man. You got to put on
Well,
the
I don't really
sunscreen.
have that problem, even though people of color do. You know,
You can still get sunburn. Come on.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper, be a pepper, drink Dr.
right.
Pepper. I'm still
Always.
jealous of you and your T-shirts that you don't look wrinkled. You know, when I get mine, and even out of the cleaners where they want $8 a shirt, you know, a T-shirt, and it still looks wrinkled. So talk to me, Matt Plays, about the garbage lady. What's going on? I call her Pork Chop 2. What's going on with her?
Where is she? I like now that because this got so much attention, now the sanitation department is auctioning off the other, or I guess you can get the one that she stole because she brought it back. But like we said before when this story broke, why would you want that? I mean, look, I get they're gonna wash it out, but like, why would I want a New York City garbage basket that just got painted blue and orange rather
Do you
than
want me
going
to answer that, or is that a rhetorical question?
Okay,
People are
answer.
stupid. You know why?
Because it was in the parade.
Dogs pee on these things.
Yeah.
Ew.
But why don't you just
rats crawl in and out?
Just go and get the official New York Knicks garbage pail that you'd have in your room, or if you're a super fan, you already probably have one anyway. Why wouldn't you want that with the Knicks logo? Why would you want a New York City garbage can that's just painted orange and blue? Who cares? It's still a New York City garbage can that was on the street.
Do you think this is mental illness?
No, I think people are just crazy, and they just don't think things through. Why would
you're
you
the head
want
of
that?
DEI, you're supposed to be responsible, and you're going to empty a full garbage can back onto the street?
On tape, on
tape.
camera, on video, whatever you call it. There's video now, evidence of her doing this. Loses her job over this. And again, why would you take it in the first place? It doesn't make any sense. And people just don't think. And with cameras everywhere, she should lose her job, and she should be tarred and feathered.
Blaze. She wanted it for her DEI seminars. To say, I identify with the black people.
Right.
I have a New York Knicks garbage can directly from the city of New York.
You think she'd have that in her office, in her DEI office, that she didn't think she would get fired? And he goes, look, this is the official garbage basket from the street that I stole. Look, it's blue and orange. And now anybody can just paint anything blue and orange. That's why I just don't get it. Just get the official one. I'd rather have it with the logo, the whole nine. Right. Why would I just want to? I could take any garbage pail anywhere and paint it blue and orange.
She goes right along. Thank you, Matt Blaze. She goes right along, I guess, with DEI thinking. So we see your calls here. Let's see. Among them, we have Tom in New Jersey on Caitlin Clark, Mary in Richmond, Virginia, Silas in Staten Island. We're going to get to all of your calls. I'm here until 1 a.m. I want to go back to Caitlin Clark. We're going to come back to Iran. Even the biggest names in sports, and Matt Plays, this is soundbite number 27, even the biggest names in sports, and I mean from Michael Jordan, Blaze, who's the guy on Golden State, the star of Golden State, Steph Curry, that's who he is, to Steph Curry, all of them, they are defending Caitlin Clark.
Okay, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, I think the WNBA, and therefore I guess the NBA, is making really bad business decisions. But most importantly, this is on the players, and some players just aren't being smart about how they're handling, frankly, the biggest star that their league has ever seen. So I want all of us to put our feelings aside for a second and simply look at the facts. Look at this from a business perspective. Since she was drafted in 2024 out of Iowa, Caitlin has the most jersey sales of any basketball player in the world, except for Stephen Curry. Yes, even more than LeBron James or Giannis Antetokounmpo or Victor Wembanyama. A woman has the most jersey sales, second only to Stephen Curry. And frankly, that is something that nobody could have ever even predicted, dreamt of, anything. So what does that type of popularity do to the league from a business perspective? It is insane what's happened. TV ratings, massive. They were up 170% her rookie year, and they've stayed up during all 3 of her WNBA seasons. Unprecedented. That, of course, means the league can charge advertisers more and therefore make more money. And yes, players benefit from that. Also, nobody wants to talk about the new CBA, the collective bargaining agreement that went into effect this season. Looking at player salaries, they're up an average of 356% across the board, from minimum to maximum to average, 356%. The salary cap for each team is through the roof also, from $1.5 million a year to $7 million a year salary cap. That's up 367%. Now, is all of that just because of Caitlin Clark? Of course not. There's several bona fide superstars in this league. The list is long, but the numbers don't lie. The impact of Caitlin since she came into the league in 2024, it is global. And that's a win. That's awesome for a league that has struggled a lot. They needed to be subsidized by the NBA and private investors for all these years, and they still do to an extent.
So, we see all your telephone calls. Let's see here. Let's go to Tom in New Jersey, line 4. Tom, what's going on?
Okay, I think Caitlin Clark should stand up for herself and be the Rosa Parks of basketball.
Okay, wait, Tom. Tom.
Regardless of what happens, and she will still come out shining.
Stop. Are you listening? Catch your breath. Tom, it's easy to say stand up for yourself. She's on an all-black league. They look at her as a privileged white girl. How can she stand up for herself? What do you mean it doesn't matter? PR matters and everything.
And then see what happens, and she would still come out shining. I believe that. I really do.
Okay, but Tom, come on now. You don't think that there are PR executives? Remember, she doesn't make her money from the WNBA. She makes her money from Nike and all the endorsers. You don't think there are people telling her you cannot respond because it's going to boomerang and work against you?
Well, this is upside down. We're living in an upside down world, and if you can't
just figured that out, Tom?
Yourself,
you just figured that out?
No.
I mean, I just, it's easy to say, stand up for yourself. Well, why do you think she hasn't done it so far, Tom?
I don't know. None of this makes any sense anymore. Nothing does.
Now, I agree with you that she really is the Rosa Parks of the WNBA.
No, she should be. If she stood up for herself, she would be.
No, if she stood up for herself, they'll say she's the villain, she's the privileged white girl, blah, blah, blah. It always matters what they say. It always matters. Tom, people that don't have anything to lose say it doesn't matter what others say. People that have careers that are paying them millions, they always are concerned with their image. Always. Thank you for the call. Let's see here. Let's go to Mary in Richmond, Virginia. Mary, good evening. What's on your mind?
I have one thing to say about, I have two things, if I can say both of them. Caitlin, she's going to come out on top of this because people are seeing now how she's really being targeted. And why wasn't the referee relieved from her job since she did not stop it or put a penalty or anything like that on it?
Because referees don't catch everything. That's why.
Oh.
See, it's easy to freeze frame it after the fact. But when it's happening, like, for example, a lot of the players that play with her on her team, her fellow teammates said they didn't see it until after the fact. It's very easy, Mary, to see something after the fact, freeze frame, freeze that shot, slow-mo. When it's happening in real time, sometimes it's very hard to see.
Okay. And my second point is that do not the African-American people in New York City realize that everything that they have gained in the last 50 years is being taken away from them and giving to illegals and the Muslims that are coming into New York City. And they are going to wind up at the bottom of the ladder again.
Well, you make a very good point, Mary. I think that what's happening is it's easy to sell somebody $1 in a dream. Oh, we're going to make things better for you, better. And you're correct, Mary, at the expense of migrants and illegals. So when one of the other callers pointed out that Governor Mikey Sherrill put up $20 million for a defense fund for illegals, I look at that as that could be $20 million to feed the elderly Americans, or $20 million additionally for American legal funds. I don't give a darn about illegals and their legal bills. That's not my problem. Then you shouldn't be here.
Right. And all of the services that they're cutting that's for money for the illegals and everybody else. And the working people, the working poor, are getting the shaft.
No doubt about it. Thank you for the great call, Mary. Let's go to Silas in line 1, Staten Island. Silas, what's on your mind?
Yeah, the one thing, as far as with Caitlin Clark, I think she's doing the right thing, kind of laying back. And the Sophie Cunningham, if they actually take it to the street, Sophie Cunningham, I believe, is some degree in karate. But the league itself is going to ruin itself if it doesn't stop this thuggery. If it continues to let these people act like thugs, it's only going to ruin itself. Caitlin's going to go on and get her endorsements, and she can basically leave them behind. But if they don't straighten their act out, they'll go right back to irrelevancy.
Hey, Silas, help me out here, and I'm going to sound a bit sexist. I'm going to admit it going in, okay? So I saw some video of Sophie Cunningham. And you got to give it to her because that lady has cojones. She's like, no, we're going to stop this bullying stuff. But I saw her with makeup on. She's drop-dead gorgeous. Drop-dead gorgeous.
Oh,
my God, she's good-looking. So why is it I got to look at a bunch of thugs dressed up and looking like men and a women straight up looking like homeboys on the corner? Why do I have to look at that? Why do we have to look at that?
Because they're from that culture. It's just like, some of the guys I work with at High. Now they wear their pants down around their ass. I don't go at them for it. But
I've seen women do that. I would hope the professional athletes don't do it. The WNBA. Silas, go ahead quickly because I got to take a break. Go ahead.
That's cool. Thinks that's cool, and
then,
But with Mandami, I try to educate these people. I say, if communism was so good, why aren't they in a communist country? Why do they come here and try to bring that nonsense?
Right.
Because they can't show us any way,
and
shape,
all the
or form
mosques
that
come with
anyone.
it. Silas, you're 1,000% accurate. Thank you for the call. I got to take a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Republicans are going to make you the poster child for the Democratic Party.
Let them. We don't have to ask ourselves what life looks like if a socialist wins. I won last November, and over the course of these last 6 months, what we've delivered for working people are the very things we were told were impossible. We've delivered free childcare for 2-year-olds for the first time in New York City history. We've delivered tens of millions of dollars back to tenants who were taken advantage of by bad landlords. We've delivered 165,000 potholes being paved. And we've done all of these things while also delivering the lowest recorded crime in our city's history. That's what it looks like to have democratic socialism. And what you're seeing is that New Yorkers experienced this for 6 months and made the decision that they wanted to see more of it on the national stage as well.
Lies. He didn't answer that he had to go hat in hand to Albany to get the money for the daycare centers, right, for the children. He didn't put that part in. He just made it look like it just magically happened. Let's go to Steve, line 3 in Elmont. Steve, what's on your mind? Steve, are you there? Okay, Steve is not there. Let's go to, let's see here, Michael, line 4 on the east side. Michael, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, I disagree with your philosophy about Caitlin, what she should do. What I would suggest is that she gets a hold of her PR person, the head of her team.
That's ridiculous, Michael. That's ridiculous. I'm going to let you finish. Let me, Michael, hold on a second. Folks, if you miss your slot when I go to you, don't call back because I'm not going to take your call for the rest of the show. That's it. You blow it, that's it. Go ahead, Michael.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
right, you don't, but it's not for you, Michael. You're making a ridiculous argument about Caitlin Clark standing up publicly, defending herself, not really knowing what you're talking about. But go ahead.
Why is that ridiculous? That's insulting.
It's ridiculous. I don't care if it's insulting. You don't know what you're talking about. She's a white athlete. She's a white athlete. Okay, I'll shut up. And you're not entitled to just give me your opinion if it makes no sense. Okay, so why? Okay, so Michael, why hasn't Michael? Michael, we can't talk over each other. Okay, Michael. So why hasn't she defended herself thus far? If you're right,
because she hasn't consulted with anyone. To my knowledge.
She's been in the league what 3 years? Michael, you're not making much sense. But go ahead. Go ahead.
So what I am saying is, if she got these people together at a news conference.
Right, and that's going to make things better for her.
It could be simply stated that if I was assaulted like this on the street, I could file an assault.
And you don't think that's going to make life even worse for her?
No, because they'll realize that she is standing
Michael,
up
the argument you're
herself.
making is ridiculous. But thank you for the call. Let's go to Susan, line 2, Corning, New York. Susan, what's on your mind?
Okay, well, these Democratic socialists, they're saying how, their policies are going to help the most marginal amongst them and, the most downtrodden. Well, and that happens to be the large number of students in New York City that are illiterate. They are downtrodden. They are marginal because they can't read. They can't participate in developments. How are they going to be advantaged from AI? You can't read. How can you do anything? And they are trying to take away the only bright options, which are charter schools, which are helping especially minority children. They are not doing that. They are trying to close those schools because they are beholden to the evil teachers union, not the evil teachers. I know you and I have had great teachers in our day, but this is a movement by the Weingartens, who are not, they're taking away the reading, writing, arithmetic that can allow children of all socioeconomics to advance. They are going into ideology away from any kind of skills that can lift up children. And Donald Trump has the solution, which New York State, under Hochul, will not allow school choice vouchers, and that these socialist Democrats, communists, are not for the downtrodden. They are going to just make it even worse, if that's even possible.
It is possible, and it's going. You made a very articulate case there, Susan, and it is going to get worse. And there should be more charter schools, and the whole argument is faulty of why there shouldn't be more charter schools. Susan, at the top of the hour, we're going to be playing something of what happened in Baltimore at a Target's the other day. These kids were, I'm just going to say urban. These kids were no older than, I guess, 8 or 9 years old. You should hear, to get to your point, and thank you for the call, Susan. I got to get in one more call here. You should hear how they were talking to these police officers, and you should hear that in the city of New York, the amount of people that are on Medicaid, welfare, we're going to have all of this in just a second. Let's go to Ben, line 5 in Brooklyn. Ben, go right ahead.
Yeah, Dominic, thank you very much for taking my call. Thanks to call screener as well.
Ben, we got 40 seconds. Get to the point.
My question was, what can we do to get Bruce Blakeman into governorship? And
more donations. More donations.
Oh, donations. Okay.
No. You asked because right now he can't compete financially, and what that means is he can't go up on TV. So more donations.
How about volunteers hitting the pavement?
That's good, but that ain't going to cut it. You need to be able to advertise on television, and thus he can't advertise until after Labor Day, and after Labor Day it may already be too late. That's why
Labor
Democrats
Day,
went
September,
over
then
and
you have
over.
October, November.
Right, but that in many cases that's not enough time to turn it around. Hoku knows that. Thank you for the call, Ben. Hour number 1 is done. Hour number 2 is coming up. We'll be right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And folks, out of New York City at this hour, multiple arrests at Washington Square Park as massive crowds continue to fill it after Pride celebrations in New York City. So the New York City Police Department out in force. And folks, you may be saying, well, how is this possible? Well, Pride Day and other functions down at Washington Square Park by NYU. Things go on all times of the night, sometimes 24 hours a day in Washington Square Park. But at this hour, the NYPD making arrests down by Washington Square Park. Iran in a moment, and we see your calls coming in. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. Hope you had a great weekend. For me, it was up to Rhode Island. Then it was down to Astoria, Queens for the street fair. It was so nice meeting many of you. I wish I could have stayed for the entire thing, but with all of that sun, and I had to get ready for tonight. And so it is what it is, folks. Iran in a moment. But I want to start with this. I have to start with this. Video showing girls, young girls, like no older than 8, 9 years old, maybe 7. I'll just say urban, because if I say black, I'll get 15 emails. Why do you have to point out that they were black, Dominic? So I'll say urban. Arrested 3 young girls at a Baltimore Target. Some say Target, right? So Target. Threatening officers, and this is all on video. One warns, I'll get my brother to shoot you. 3 minor females captured in the video, arrested for vandalizing a Target in Baltimore.
Look at this, y'all kid. Tell that lady to get that camera. Get the yo, freedom, bro, is done. Bro, y'all gotta get my brother.
Now remember, I said urban. I said urban kids, okay? So they even tried to lunge at the woman filming this. So you don't need to hear this. You don't need to hear me say this, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's sad. It's so sad to see children, these young children, 7, 8, 9, with zero respect, no morals, and terrible behavior. What happens when they become young ladies at age 12, 13? You know what happens. A lack of parental guidance, discipline, and empathy, and having parents who support this behavior, it says all that needs to be said. And if you want to understand why these types of things are happening, I'm watching Jesse Waters the other day on the Fox News channel, and he's talking about New York City. I want you to listen carefully to what he has to say.
Okay, you don't freeze rent. Now no one can afford to keep these places going. And I just found out New York City, half of the city is on Medicaid.
Wow.
20% of the city is on food stamps. 5% of the city lives in the projects. 70% of the city's not white. 40% of the city wasn't even born in America. We are going down a dangerous road already.
And so you want to know why things are the way they are? Why socialists are being elected? Because it's the blind leading the blind. That's why. Common sense is out the window. 800-848-9222. Iran, anyone can complain. We're about to start with your calls in about 2 minutes. Anyone can complain. And I really want you to answer this. But what do you do with a country when the leadership is reckless, dangerous, and doesn't care what happens to them? When you're in the position of stopping them from obtaining a nuclear weapon, what do you do in a situation like that? I really want to, and you can't just say, oh, bomb the whole country. That's ridiculous. What do you do in a situation like that? So we know that violence occurred over the weekend in which the U.S. carried out new strikes on Iran, and Iran retaliated.
The United States conducting a new round of strikes against Iran in response to the IRGC targeting shipping vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. According to U.S. Central Command, a variety of different targets were hit, including military surveillance sites, radar systems, communication systems, drone storage facilities, and mine layer capabilities. Now, the president posted a Truth Social shortly after the strike saying United States aircraft just struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites for violating the ceasefire agreement again. It is very possible that they will never learn. The president goes on to say there may come a point when we are no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to militarily complete the job that we very successfully started. If that happens, the Islamic Republic of Iran will no longer exist. Now, in response, Iran launched missiles and drones toward Kuwait and Bahrain. This was the second exchange of fire this weekend between the United States and Iran. Vice President J.D. Vance posted to X over the weekend saying Iran signed a ceasefire agreement. We have honored it. If they have disagreements about how the MOU is being applied, they can pick up the phone, but violence will be met with violence. The new military action comes as the situation between Israel and Hezbollah plays out on a separate but parallel front. The Israelis launched new airstrikes against Hezbollah this weekend as Hezbollah continued attacks against Israeli forces in southern Lebanon, killing at least one soldier overnight. Late last week, there was a diplomatic breakthrough in Washington as the Israelis and Lebanese signed a framework agreement aimed at normalizing ties between the two countries and disarming Hezbollah.
These were intense talks, difficult talks, but we arrived at an agreement, the framework agreement, which will allow for the achievement of a full peace agreement between our two countries.
The situation in Lebanon is stabilizing slightly, but there are questions about if the United States and Iran will enter into scheduled technical talks this week due to the exchange of fire this weekend. Guys?
Thank you, Trey.
Thanks, Trey.
It's a popular...
And that was from the Fox News channel. So I want you to hear, and I'm going to table it for right now, Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut appearing on Meet the Press. The socialist that beat Adriano Espaillat, one of New York's congressional districts, Murphy was asked about it. We're going to listen to him and Fetterman, but I want to get in some of your telephone calls first. 800-848-9222. Let's go to Sandra, line 1, New Jersey. Good morning, Sandra.
Oh, good morning. First of all, I'm glad you got home safe from Rhode Island.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And secondly, I saw a picture of you on X, and I made the picture large to see what's doing near your eye, and I saw nothing. So you look great. Nothing shows from what you went through with that incision. Really, I didn't see
Matt
anything,
Blaze
Dom.
is laughing, Sandra. Matt Blaze is
Sandra,
laughing.
What picture are you looking at? Because I'm looking at Dominic. He's wearing an eye patch. He looks like a pirate.
Sandra, I gotta have surgery on this thing. And Sandra, why do they make it so difficult for me, Sandra? So wait, Sandra, you're not gonna believe this. You brought it up, right? So I take Mounjaro, right? Because I'm diabetic. Right. But no. So the plastic surgeon tells me, I think the operation is July 22nd, right? And he says I don't have to miss work. I'm like, doctor, I can't miss work. You don't have to miss work. So, Sandra, I can't have Mounjaro for a week before the operation. The diabetic medication, I got to wean myself off because the day before I can't eat anything at all, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And then after midnight, I can't have any water, coffee, nothing. And then have the man cut my face open and sew me back
Dominic.
up. So I wasn't going to mention it, Sandra, but you mentioned it. Well, and Matt Blaze started laughing. He's still laughing.
I feel bad. You know why, Dominic?
Why?
Because this diabetic thing, my husband's going through it too. I feel very bad for him, and I feel bad for you, both of you, with this eating problem, and now you're going to go through this other thing, and then you have to. I'm sorry. What can I say?
No, Sandra, I try to eat right, and then Matt Blaze is like, "Don't you want this Big Mac? He's laughing.
No.
Don't you want this Whopper?"
No,
and these doctors, they tell me, Sandra, that this is what they say to me, right? There is nothing that you can have in fast food. Well, doctor, how about nothing? A salad? How about nothing that you can have in a fast food restaurant? And then I shouldn't even talk about this because your homegirl Liz is going to start. She's going to start talking about I should eat carrots or whatever the case may be. Have me and Matt Blaze eating stuff like that. But go ahead.
No, it's a tough situation with the food. I see my husband suffering too. I feel bad for him. No matter, it's just a tough thing. What can I say? But
so Sandra, wait a minute, Sandra. So when I get home tonight, right, and I'm hungry, what am I supposed to do? The other day, my endocrinologist, they keep retiring on me. I break in a new doctor and then they retire. I go in there, she's like, Dominic, you have to get a new doctor. I'm retiring. Her husband's a stockbroker. She's a doctor. They make a ton of money. She's out. And so she says, don't eat, Dominic, after your radio show, don't eat a meal. So what am I supposed to eat?
I would say have some chicken. Do you have any chicken at home when you get home?
Sometimes chicken is boring.
I know.
When I covered Jesse Jackson in '88, I ate more fried chicken every day on the Jesse Jackson. And it's funny, Sandra, because the white reporters would laugh. Everywhere we went, he bust in via Secret Service fried chicken from the cool restaurant in that city. But go ahead, because I'm a minute from the break. Go ahead.
Okay. No, then I'll go. I called about Mandami. So look, he jumped into that pool with his suit on, and in my interpretation,
he sure did.
And my interpretation is he is winning the parents of all those kids. He's like the Pied Piper, and that's what he is. He's trying to get everybody to love him. Look, I love you.
I thought it was a Muslim thing why he didn't, take off his shirt and jumped in. I've never seen somebody jump in a pool in a suit.
Neither, but the whole thing is crazy. He's just off the wall. Maybe it is a Muslim thing, but I didn't see it that way. I didn't think that deeply. I just said, look at that. He's so spontaneous. He wants to join the kids. He'll even jump in with his clothes on. That's how I saw it. I didn't look
that was
planned
like
out.
That. Everything he does is planned out.
Wow.
I thought it was a Muslim thing. He didn't want to be photographed with no shirt on. I mean, I don't think that's a Muslim issue, but, you know.
But that's possible. But
or maybe his evil wife looked at him with the evil eye and said, don't take your clothes off. Who knows?
Who knows? But he's the Pied Piper. He's trying to win them over, and he is. And
so wait, hey, I'm late for a break, Sandra, so that you do 150 laps around the pool today?
No, Friday is my swim day. Today I went to my yoga class, and it's very intense with weights and doing all that kind of. This teacher that I have on Sunday is fabulous. So I go to her class, and it's it's like going to boot camp with her. So I did that today. One thing a day I do. I don't overdo things.
Well, that's fantastic, Sandra. Thank you for the call. Matt Blaze and I'll have to join you at one. I can't even get it out, Matt. It's funny to even try and get the words out. You know.
You gonna do laps around the pool? You do laps around your own pool?
No, man. You know
it's in a floaty.
No, because it's too cold, and you got to heat it up, and you don't want to be bothered, and you got to put in the chemicals, and it's like, I don't want to be bothered. You do it for the kids, but it's like, I don't want to be bothered. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Suffering from dry, tired, irritated eyes? Don't let dry eyes win. Use Systane Pro. It hydrates, restores, and protects dry eyes for up to 12 hours. Systane Pro. Triple action dry eye relief.
Looking for a protein shake that tastes as good as it performs? Meet Rockin' Protein Max. Packed with 50 grams of fuel, it'll help you keep up when your day won't slow down. And because it's always creamy and never chalky, every sip tastes great. Even better, it's lactose-free and has 0 added sugar. It's not every day you find a protein shake you actually want to finish. Catch Rockin' Protein in the dairy cooler at a store near you. Rockin' Protein and Shamrock Farms are registered trademarks of Shamrock Foods Company.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Matt Blaze on line one. Liz in Florida. Good morning, Liz.
Good morning, Dominic. Good morning, Matt. You guys, first of all, while I was listening, I heard an advertisement that was from you, Dominic, that said, take care of your health, right?
Can I be honest with you, Liz? Can I be honest with you, Liz? I don't write that stuff. I mean,
but if you're speaking it, but we believe you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so you could have said to them, I can't say this. I don't believe in it. But I know you do deep down, but you're having a hard time. So I did I just put something on X. I said, hire a chef. It's enough complaining. And I know that
Matt just jumped up because he understands birds of a feather, Liz. He poisons me, I poison him.
Well,
so wait, Liz, before you go on, wait, Matt Blaze, answer for Liz. When you leave at 5:30 in the morning, what do you eat?
Pop-Tarts.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I grab, because we have the kitchen that we have here.
Right.
And we got a lot of food. Listen, there's a lot of other food that I do not eat. Like there's bags of chips, there's chocolate, there's cereal.
That's me.
So I'm thinking if I eat a Pop-Tart, I mean, it's breakfast. I got to drive home. I need a little fuel. So I could be eating bags of Doritos at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I don't.
So we need to revamp what's in the station. And I do believe that, John and Margot will help you with that.
Oh, wait. No, hold on. Let me stop you right there. There is healthier food. There are apples. There's bananas. There is healthier choices. I just make the choice to eat Pop-Tarts. There's one. I have grabbed a banana. I have grabbed an apple. There are oranges. There are healthier choices. I just chose to have Pop-Tarts.
Okay, but you egg Dominic on about the hamburgers and the fast food. It's so unhealthy. Read ingredients. Like the first ingredients is always sugar. It's just like everything is saturated. There's just the fats. It's not. Nobody would be on medication if they just ate healthy and ate clean. I'm telling you. So it's never too late.
Well, hey, Liz, I hear you. You know we love you, but I am 20 seconds from a national break, so we don't have a choice with that.
Goodbye.
Hey,
Hire
wait,
chef.
Liz is mad with us, Blaze. You see what you got me into, Blaze? Liz doesn't get mad at anybody, and now she's pissed off. You see what you did? You see what you did? Your diet. And tell her the truth. We throw the apples at each other. No,
That's right.
I'm only joking. Folks, it is time for a break. We're going to go to Robert in Philadelphia when we come back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And so, Matt, Blaze, and Liz have opened up Pandora's box because Juliana, down under in Australia, she put on Twitter, I got to take care of myself, Matt Blaze. So thank you very much for that, for opening up that can of worms. Don't laugh. I see you.
When Liz from Florida comes out and lectures us, I want to play the theme from Darth Vader. That's what I feel like. Dun, 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 da, da, dun, da, da. Ruining our fun.
Or the theme from Jaws.
Yeah.
Either one. Either one.
Jaws is like us, because we're like eating machines. I just eat whatever's in front of me.
Right. And Robert in Philadelphia, I want to bring Robert in. Hey, Robert, so I know you want to talk about Iran, but I want to do a man thing right now. So wait, I'm looking at a comment, Robert, from Catherine Trunk. Catherine and her mom in her 90s listens. Catherine says, at Dominic TV, why we love you. You are so relatable. When I get home from work, I dive into food. On some occasions, I stop at a late night fast food restaurant and get a cheeseburger with some ketchup and pickles. My kind of girl.
Yeah.
Catherine Trump, you know? So Robert, girl. You're right. So, Robert, you can talk to me about Iran, but right now, first tell me, what is your diet like? Because, Liz, she's always positive, but I'm in the doghouse now because of Matt Blaze.
Dom, it is good to talk to you and Matt, and Liz is going to love you guys after I get done what I have to say.
Okay.
I do not eat anything that's dietetic, light, sugar-free, low-cal, salt-free, gluten-free, whatever the hell that is.
Like my daughter, right?
I just eat, and I guess I'm lucky because I've always had a high metabolism. And while I do have a little padding there, I'm like 6'1", 180, man. I'm good, and I'm still in decent shape.
So tell me your breakfast, Robert. Tell us what you eat for breakfast.
Actually, I usually just have something like either a banana or a Danish along with my tea. And then I don't eat a lot during the day, and I have a good dinner and something to snack at night.
So what's for dinner? What's a typical dinner for you?
It has to have meat, it has to have starch, and it has to have greens. So I usually have something like roast beef, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, rice, and like vegetables. My favorite is the French cut string beans. But other than that,
I don't cook?
Yeah, I never really had like parents, so I kind of learned all that household stuff when I was young.
Wow. Okay, so you eat pretty healthy.
No.
But I mean,
I just said that I eat what I want.
No. But Robert, my daughter, she lectures me, Dad, all of that sugar-free stuff is so bad for you. You might as well eat the real thing. Just do it in moderation, blah, blah, blah. And she's one of these gluten-free nuts, No. And I'm with you, Robert. What the heck does all of that mean?
Okay,
hey, Robert, we're going to talk Iran right now.
Dominic.
So we're going to talk Iran. So, like, for example, right? So I have to get, right? So this plastic surgeon gives me a paper that I have to give to my primary care doctor, and I have to get an EEG, right? And I have to get blood tests. You got to get pre-screened for surgery. This is the second time. This is just to get rid of a bump on my head. And these are the things I got to do. But anyway, Robert, you want to talk Iran, so let's go ahead. Go ahead.
Hold on, real quick. You can mitigate a lot of that. Do you go to the gym?
I'll let Matt Blaze answer that.
It's all about activity, Dominic. Now, I'm naturally active. I'm out a lot. I still run ball with my kids, even though they're like 27 to 40. But if you're active, you burn off a lot of the things that would otherwise stay in your system and be bad for you later on. I'm not a doctor.
But Robert, but if I go to the gym, Robert, people want to talk about Trump. When I'm not working, I don't want to talk about Trump. If I go to the gym, they want to talk politics. When I'm not working, I don't want to talk politics. And if you say I don't want to talk politics, don't smile, Matt Blaze. If you say you don't want to talk politics, they'll say, oh, he's so rude. I asked him a question, and he wouldn't give me 30 minutes to answer it.
Peloton, Dom. Peloton. Okay? You don't have to go to a gym. You can, I'm sure you are able to put together yourself a little workout thing with some motivational screens to watch what you want to watch and listen to what you want to listen to while you work out for a couple hours.
I'd rather talk about Iran. Let's talk about Iran.
You don't want to ride a Peloton bike, Dominic? You rather talk about
they look cool.
That's what Robert's talking about, Peloton, to get on the bike.
Oh, but how much are they?
Just burn them calories, man. Burn them calories.
But how much are they? How much are they, these Peloton bikes? How much are they?
Well, I have no idea. It's free to ride my bike and walk, so.
Right. So I better. Hey, but I don't want to talk food anymore because this is depressing. I'd rather talk Iran.
I don't know if that's any more uplifting, Dom. I'm starting to think that the only way you're going to stop the Ayatollahs for real, physically, is to take out the mullahs, and we can't do that. Okay, obviously. Right. So the only thing I'm thinking that we can do right now, and I'm not talking about in a Cavalier John Wayne fashion, but we may have to take Carg Island. Okay, we can put naval assets around it. We can monitor everything that can shoot at us, and we need, and it'll relieve pressure on the Strait of Hormuz and keep the traffic going. And this is the only way I want to take it to them. And I would rather defend Carg Island from Iran than try to invade Iran. I don't want that. But Carg Island might be something that we may have to do in order to secure the downfall of the Ayatollahs. Plus, the Iranians will then see us in theater. The Iranians, they don't see us now. Our ships are out to sea. They don't see us there except for the bombs dropping. If they see us on Carg Island, that might start something there. But I hope it doesn't come to that, man. I hope we're able to bomb them into submission, But
it doesn't seem to be working thus far. These people are crazy.
Yes. The Islamic fundamentalists are crazy, absolutely. But there's a lot of other people that aren't Islamic fundamentalists there that are living under the yoke. We saw them get executed in the streets, and maybe the sight of some kind of American presence on Carg Island might kick off something like another revolution or another. What was that? The spring, something spring a couple of years ago when Obama was president. You know what I mean?
So Robert, I'm putting you in this category now too with Matt Blaze. They got me in the doghouse. Liz just tweeted, Robert is correct. Activities, cardio. What else does she say here? Stretching, strengthening with better food choices will keep you healthier. So you're correct there, Robert. Thank you for the great call and for being a great sport. Let's go to Lisa in Connecticut. Lisa, what's on your mind?
Hey. So I've been on the seafood diet. Everything
on a seafood
I see,
diet.
I eat. Everything I see, I eat.
Oh, I just. I'm like, what seafood? No, Lisa. As you're saying that, you know what I'm thinking about? Because I was ashamed. I was embarrassed to admit it. So I make it to Rhode Island, right? I'm gonna let you finish. I make it to Rhode Island before it gets dark, right? And I'm at Iggy's, and I love Iggy's in Rhode Island, and they don't have cashiers anymore. You got to order automated. I guess it works for them because there's no cash. It's now all credit cards, right? And so I have the fish and chips. And, of course, the fish and chips are French fries and I think fried haddock, I believe. But it was the best piece of fish. But, but I'm going to be told, you can't eat the fried food. So, wait, what was that, Lisa? You seafood diet? You eat everything you see?
Yeah, I'm on the seafood diet. I eat everything I see. Exactly.
I don't believe that, Lisa. I don't believe that. Is that true?
I just had McDonald's before, bro. I had a Happy Meal. I downed that.
Wait. You had McDonald's?
I had a Happy Meal today.
You had a Happy
Meal. It really
Meal.
made me happy. What? Yeah, I got the toy. I got the little toy in my car. I put a little smile on my face. You know,
So
I'm
wait,
not hating on it.
So did you have the burger, the cheeseburger, or the chicken nuggets?
I had a cheeseburger, and I had the nerve to put an extra slice of cheese on that, too.
Ooh.
And then I had double fries with a large Coke.
Wait, you had double fries?
And then
But you're not supposed to have the Coke. You're not supposed to have the Coke.
I had a meal prep this morning. This morning I had a meal prep because it was so hot. So Poppy, he's old school, right? So there's no AC in our house. No AC. It's not allowed. Okay?
Oh,
So you can imagine my hysteria. Okay, so I got up and started meal prepping. And I made her the mashed potatoes, made him the corn, fried up some pork chops, and then I was out. I was like, okay, I'm going to the car to the AC.
No AC.
And that's
it's kind
where
of
we
rough.
get on my seafood diet. But speaking of seafood, actually, now that you are going to Rhode Island, maybe one day we should meet up at Stowe's in West Haven because Poppy likes the Stowe's haddock, fish, and chips there, and they have the best fries ever.
The best fries
in
ever?
West Haven, Connecticut. Yeah.
Well, I wanted the I wanted the hot lobster roll, but that was $49 or $45. So I'm like, no, thank you.
Oh, come over here and come hang out with me and Poppy, and we'll give you a discount for sure. Poppy, baby, give Poppy extra fish because he's Poppy.
Wow. Okay. Well, Lisa, thank you for being such a great sport. Thank you. So Matt Blaze, did you hear that? Did you hear that, Matt Blaze?
Yeah, all I heard you say is lobster roll. Lobster roll? I heard you say lobster roll.
Right.
And now I'm thinking, I got to get a lobster roll, man, because, I live close to the Jersey Shore.
So 2 weeks ago, I'm in Newport, right?
Yeah.
I forgot the name of this place. You walk around by the water, blah, blah, blah. They rob you because it's a tourist trap.
Right.
And all the restaurants and so on. And it's just, I said, can I have a lobster roll? And it's, well, would you like it hot or cold? I'm like, oh. And I'm like, I want it hot. But it was so good, but so small. It was like on a little hot dog bun, a lobster roll.
But it's the hot one, though, but they put, like, actual lobster in the hot dog bun.
The cold one as well.
See, because there's two different kinds of lobster rolls. You have the one that's more of a lobster salad, which is usually the cold one. The hot one is like chunks of actual lobster.
Well, that's the hot one, and that's the one that I like.
That's the one that I like.
That's the good one. That's make you want to bite your finger.
I might bite
your fingers.
I'm going to have to go get one this weekend.
You know?
I have to go.
Where would you get one from?
Well, I live by Jersey Shore, and there is a place that specializes in this type of lobster.
So you have a choice of the Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh, yeah. You got to remember, I'm right in the middle of everything. I got Philly cheesesteaks. I got seafood. I got it all.
Hey, wait. We got all these telephone calls, but you haven't updated me on your dog, Samantha. How's Samantha?
Well, since she's been expelled from school, that was many months ago at this point, she is now 20 months old, and she has calmed down a little bit.
So appeal for her to go back to school.
Well, no, I don't think we want to bring her back there just because she's fine being home. She is now, we do not even have to keep her locked in her crate overnight. She has free roam of the house, but she will still go into her crate and lay down. The door is open.
Because she's used to it.
Because she likes it.
Right.
But she has free roam of the house. But now she does go up the stairs.
You need to expose her to those bad you-know-what kids in Baltimore, those kids that acted out in the Target, and let her teach those kids some manners.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, when I take her outside of my front yard, it's fenced in, but when people walk by, she runs back and forth, barking at them.
Getting excited.
Yeah, she gets excited. She's barking at them, so everybody looks like, don't worry, she's not going to jump the fence, and she won't bite you. She's just excited. Because she is a German Shepherd, and when people see her, they're like, "Oh my God, German Shepherd!"
Right. Of course,
but she's a big baby, but she will guard her house. That's for sure.
Well, I thought about you guys. I took my shoes off of my granddaughter. She's got all the energy in the world. Grandpa, run with me on the beach. Grandpa, can we get in the water? Eva, it's almost dark. The water's cold. We can't get in the water. Grandpa, can we sit up in the lifeguard chair? Grandpa. Let's go to Ann in Pennsylvania, line 4. Ann, what's on your mind?
Thank God, Dominic. I have a lot of the same issues as you. High blood pressure, diabetes, fragmented sleep, stress. I've lost 90 pounds. I'm down 35 pounds since last year. I don't exercise, bro. I'm disabled. I'll call you bro. I'm from Washington Heights in the Bronx.
Okay.
So I'm from the streets, hon.
I got you.
Number one thing is the chemicals. So you could have a burger with real cheese, because what you get from these fast food places is not a good burger. It's not real cheese. It's all those oils and chemicals. You got to get all that crap out of your diet. So all that gluten-free crap, sugar-free crap, don't eat any of that. I wish I could talk to you longer, hon, because I'm telling you, I could turn everything around for you. I see all the specialists you're seeing. I do the same thing. And plus, I'm disabled, hon. I don't do a whole bunch of exercise. Cardio is the worst thing for you. It raises your cortisol. What happens is that people will look at you and decide, okay, Dominic has this, and this. This is how we treat him. You have to be treated as an individual. So I do dynamic tension. I do isometrics. I do stretches. But like right now, I'm waiting to get a hip replacement. I can't even move, hon. I haven't slept in 3 weeks. I'm having surgery next week. And I feel like I can't. I've been in such agony pain. So I have all
wish
the same
best
issues
for
as you.
Hey, listen, Ann, I'm late for a break, but I got to tell you, I'm with you in spirit, but half of the things you just mentioned, I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounded good. And now all the lines are lit up. We're getting calls from as far as away as Seattle, Washington, with tips on my diet. Thank you very much, Liz. Thank you very much, Matt Blaze. And nothing but love going out to you. And you can call me bro, because we're from the same hood. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Looking at my Twitter, at my ex, Catherine Trunk says, so glad to hear the update on Samantha. That's Matt Blaze' dog, who got terminated from doggy daycare. The homeschooling paid off. Catherine also says, great call by Lisa and Robert. Had me laughing. We all have to go to Wendy's or Burger King. What do you say, Matt Blaze?
You know where I'm going. White Castle.
White Castle. Well, they just closed the one in Queens.
I got a bunch by my house.
We'll figure it out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or we can go do Animal House like back we were in college and go hang out by Fordham University where there's a big one on Fordham Road, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so let's get back to the calls. And Yetta, we see you, Yetta. Ooh, Yetta, former public school teacher in the picture with Joe Piscopo at a jazz concert the other day. You know, ooh, Yetta. Yetta got it going on. Let's go to Benny, line 2 in Bayside, New York. Benny, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, buddy? The way to lose weight, really, me and you are the same age. Go to your attic and just sit there and read a book. You have a hot attic during the summer days. It's 130 degrees up there, and sweat it out. That's a way to lose it.
Can't do that, Benny. Can't do that. One, it's a small crawl space to get up there. And two, it's wood panels up there. So with my luck, I'll slip and land on sheetrock and fall right through and then got damage in the house. And
That's the best part, to fall through. No, you won't fall through. Just walk on the rafters.
So Benny, it says here you want to talk quickly about Iran. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, seriously. Why Iran is really delaying everything, and why it's being so difficult, really, is because look at their neighbors, Afghanistan, what we did to them, how we, disrupted that nation for 12 years, and how we left it. And that's why I think Iran really is, so hesitant in making any kind of deal.
I hear you, Benny. I just think they're trying to. I'm short on time. Thank you for the call. I think they're just trying to beat the clock out, and they're trying to wait until they think they'll get a better deal with another president. That's what I think is, or that Congress will intercede on their behalf. Daniel, line 5 in Seattle, Washington. What's on your mind, Daniel?
Hey, I just care about you and Matt Blaze, so just thought sometimes you guys get some different advice. So just thought I'd look out for Matt. So with the Pop-Tart, basically it's only giving him a short boost of energy, and then he's crashing. So we want to get him eating something.
Daniel, and unfortunately we only got 40 seconds left in the program. You got to understand our world. He just needs enough energy to get home. So,
then I need to crash after that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's just at the time we have, just having those things you enjoy, the burgers, the treats, 20% of the time, and then just trying to have good foods that will give you guys energy, 80% of the time. And, the schedule makes it tough, but if you can get some food in you before your shift and then just to try to avoid eating, right before bed, that alone would help for sure.
Yeah, so you're telling me after I'm stressed out, like right now, on my way home, don't eat anything. That's what you're telling me, Daniel, right?
Well, you can eat if you haven't eaten, but just in a perfect world, you wouldn't be eating 2 to 3 hours within bed.
Right. Yeah, good luck with that. Daniel, thank you for the great call. Folks, time for the program to end. I am back 3 p.m. Eastern. God only knows what we'll talk about.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?